trying to make sure everybody gets home as efficiently as possible, and then that those areas that have been evacuated still under an order are safe. So just bear with us on that. And then lastly, I just want to touch on the Recovery Resource Center. And so the county's put together this Recovery Resource Center over at the Kaiser Permanente Arena in downtown Santa Cruz at 140 Front Street. And it's going to start tomorrow. Tomorrow it's going to open at 11. It's going to stay open until 7 p.m. And I would encourage you that they're going to have all sorts of local, state, federal resources there. If you've lost documents, if you don't have documents, from marriage certificates to birth certificates, DMV is going to be there. There's going to be disaster recovery information and disaster assistance information from FEMA. There's going to be information with regards to rebuilding, debris removal, utilities, insurance, you name it. The county's really done a good job of trying to get all these folks under one roof so that you can have access to them. And I would encourage you that if you need help with that stuff, that you take the county up on that, and then you get on out to the Kaiser Permanente Arena, where there's people there that'll be able to help you. And obviously you can access all of this information at santacruzcounty.us. So if you can't make it, go to the county's website that I just mentioned, and you'll be able to find further information from there. Thank you.
Speaking next from the San Mateo County Sheriff's Office is Lieutenant Vince Bedolla.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to continue the positive news as far as our patrol efforts. We had about 30 deputies out on patrol protecting our areas that reopened recently, and we're happy to say that we had no burglaries, no calls for service, any suspicious activity. So it's a really good news, and I want to credit our residents and everybody for just keeping an eye out for each other, and those that don't live in the area staying out of the areas, which is extremely helpful for us up to the north. We did receive a few calls, and Chief Brunton addressed them from Half Moon Bay residents with the excessive smoke. And we want to reassure you that the Half Moon Bay residents are safe, and they're in no fire danger there north of the fires. And then again, I want to say the same thing over again: is if you don't live in these areas, stay out. You've done a great job of keeping the roadways open and allowing us to do what we need to do, but stay out of the areas of La Honda, San Gregorio, and Pescadero areas, please. And then additionally, we've had a potential for people to break barricades or go around barricades in our county parks and our state parks up in the north area, the north zone there. Please do not go around any barricades. We are out there enforcing the barricades now at the state parks and county parks. Please stay out of those areas. And lastly, use our websites, use our social media, and stay informed with us, and know that once information is going to come out, or we get information, it's going to come out on our website, and we're going to get the information to you as quick as we can. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Speaking next on behalf of the Unified Incident Commanders is CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 3 IC Billy C.
Good evening. 10 days ago, when our team was deployed here on this incident, we were looking at an incident that had and was in the process of growing 45,000 acres in a 24-hour period. Reduction in resources of what is the norm, so we made a number one priority is life safety, and we made sure that we were aggressive with our law enforcement partners of getting people out of the way of this incident and this fire front that was coming at them. 10 days later, we've got over 30,000 evacuees repopulated back in their homes. We're going to continue aggressively mopping this incident up, gaining more perimeter control each and every day, and reducing the risk and the hazards for that population out there. The firefighters are working extremely hard. We're going to be increasing our population on this incident Sunday and Monday with the insertion of 12 National Guard hand crews, which will consist of 288 men and women from the California National Guard, along with supervision from CAL FIRE of 44 personnel. That will be coming in to assist us with the containment efforts that we're putting forth on this incident, as well as be able to maneuver some of our other hand crews to other incidents where the prior needs are in the state of California for the citizens we serve. Thanks.
And our final speaker this evening, CAL FIRE San Mateo Santa Cruz Unit, Unit Chief Ian Larkin.
Good evening. Obviously, our reports are good again. We're starting to see more progress as the favorable weather and more resources arrive here to help contain this fire. I just want to remind folks and reiterate what Chief Deputy Clark said. The Santa Cruz County website, santacruzcounty.us. Click on the fire tab. There's a tremendous amount of resources for those that have been affected by the fire or had their structures destroyed. Just a great resource, and the local assistance center is being set up as he stated, and I highly recommend that you either use the website or get to the assistance center to help you with the recovery. The county's working diligently right now to get the roads open, assess the structures that have been damaged, and also the other infrastructure such as bridges, culverts throughout our county road system to make sure that they're safe in the fire inundated areas. For those that were repopulated today and yesterday, I just want to remind everybody that we're still early in our fire season. And in fact, our burn window that we typically have here in Santa Cruz County is just starting. Even though we have an 80,000 acre fire that burned due to drought conditions, we are in that prime time for us to be susceptible to another fire. So take advantage of this time, look around your home, try to increase your defensible space. If you don't have any, now's the time to start working on that. Just be mindful and use safety precautions when doing that defensible space so you don't create a spark or something that could start a receptive vegetation on fire. So just please bear with us. We're going to continue working diligently on this fire so that we can get everybody back home and really start that healing process from this devastating fire. Thank you.
All right, happy to answer any questions you might have. How many people remain evacuated? The question was how many people remain evacuated. It's approximately over 40,000 people remain evacuated.
Can you talk about any of the infrastructure that might be affected by this fire and people now returning home, what they should be aware of and be careful of?
Yeah, sure. So the question was related to what people should be aware of when they return home. There's a really great resource online from CAL FIRE that on the Ready, Set, Go website as well, Ready for Wildfire, that actually goes into the details about what to look for when you get home. Hazards such as trees, propane tanks that you might have had, items that may be hazardous or might have fallen, what to do when you get to your property as far as what you should touch and what you should engage with and not engage with. That brings up a really good point, and I think there's a lot of good resources for people out there. We can go ahead and link that on our incident updates too to make sure we get the info out there.
Is water drinkable?
So that's going to be on a case-by-case basis. That is really going to come down to the water district and people checking in with whoever their water purveyor is and making contact with them.
Randy Gordon from KDCZ, Golden Creek Community Radio. We haven't heard a lot about the women and men of our local fire districts, and I'm wondering if you can give us an idea how those crews have been incorporated in the fight and what that integration process has been like.
Yes, the question is related to local government resources, especially locally here, maybe the San Lorenzo Valley, Boulder Creek area. Having been with Chief Larkin since about 30 minutes after this incident started on the late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, I can tell you from the beginning, mutual aid from other agencies was vital to this operation. As the fire progressed, obviously additional resources were called from both San Mateo and Santa Cruz counties. And as we know how limited resources were, making sure that we got as many local resources as possible was vital. Several days into the incident, the Boulder Creek Fire Protection District, along with Ben Lomond and Felton, were incorporated into the Unified Incident Command. And really what that does is just make sure that all of our efforts are coordinated and unified together. And that means that logistical support is coordinated, the planning, the communication, the maps that we're all using. And that happened several days into the incident. But I will say that was not the beginning of our coordination. Firefighting together started almost instantaneously after the fire began. As you can imagine, this fire moved fast, and it moved into several communities, at 45,000 acres in less than 24 hours. So it was a full effort amongst a bunch of agencies, and we definitely, at the appropriate time, made sure that unified command was established.
Last weekend, in the midst of this still growing fire, there were specific calls from law enforcement and other government agencies telling visitors, please don't come this weekend. Can you talk a little bit about this coming weekend and what people who may want to come into the counties should expect?
Sure. The question is related to what people should expect or what the advice is for out-of-county guests coming into the county and what the directive is.
Sure. So, as you've heard, tens of thousands of people are displaced still to this day because of the fire. Not only that, as you've heard, the structures damaged. 700 structures damaged. 500 something. Single-family homes. Those folks can't go back to their house, and so they need to go somewhere. And so, what the county's encouraged, and what we would encourage, is that if you don't need to be in Santa Cruz County, please do not come here. And I've mentioned that before, because what you're doing is you're just tying up finite resources for folks to be able to stay. Hotels, things like that, Airbnbs. It ties all those resources up, and it provides less opportunity for people that really need it. And so and two, it impacts our roadways, and especially for areas like Scotts Valley and other areas as we move towards the coast. Our coastline's beautiful, but for the folks that at some point are going to get to go back to that area, people traveling Highway 1 or trying to go to that area of the county is only going to create more problem. So while on any other occasion we would love to see people here, now is not the right time.
Can you elaborate on with regard to the slopovers? Can you pinpoint the locations a little more for us, and was there any structural damage involved?
Sure. So the question was related to the specifics about any slopovers that occurred and any potential damage as a result. And Chief Brunton will be able to answer that.
Yeah, regarding the exact specific locations, I can get in general. We had a number of them happening in the north zone, in what's known as Branch 1, up in the Butano Park area. We had a couple of those there, as well as off the Highway 9 corridor in a variety of locations on that line. What we have is Division TT and then also RR. So this basically on a variety of locations along the Highway 9 corridor. They were very small. We had one yesterday that was about 30 acres. None of those matched in comparison. You're talking maybe an acre or so, because we have crews actively patrolling the line, working the line, so they're able to pick up on these things quicker when they discover them and take action. As far as any sort of damage to any structures, no damage to any structures or anything like that, just simply just over our line and in the vegetation and predominantly staying within the duff, not creating any sort of significant fire, but nonetheless burning past our control lines. So crews found those, discovered them, took appropriate immediate action and extinguished those.
All right, everyone up here is available for questions one-on-one. Just a final note this evening, the next press conference will be tomorrow evening, 24 hours from now at 6 p.m. Saturday at 6 p.m. we'll be regrouping here for the next update. With that, thank you for joining us. This concludes the 6 p.m. press conference.